Call our meeting to order. Everyone want to rise for the pledge of allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lori, you want to do roll call?
Kevin Stramlin.
Here.
Janelle Keller.
Here.
Teresa Bills.
Here.
Jim Christopher.
Here.
Keith Wiederholt.
Here. All right. Move right in. Approval of agenda, including additions and changes. I have a couple of additions. H would be the assessor contract, and I would be the quote for the electricity for the fire department side.
What is I? Say that again, please.
Electrical quote for the new fire department sign. Janelle, do you have something?
I do have two that we can just add into the consent agenda.
Okay.
They are the annual accident fund checks, that is $40,426.31 for fire and $166.69 for township. The second one would be our annual insurance premium for $50,084 for fire and $8,621 for township. Those are our annual fees that we pay. I just bring it to you.
So one is for accident fund,
Yep, and one is Decker.
and the other is insurance Decker. Split between township and fire in the way that you mentioned. Okay.
Anybody else got any additions or changes?
I have changes. Okay.
So she just wants to, you wanna pull out the minutes, is that what you're gonna?
Let me look. Yes, I believe since there's changes to the minutes for township and also for fire, that means we pull those out?
And
Okay,
add them to the regular agenda.
alright. That's what I would like to do.
Make it.
Jay, you do it.
You wanna do that? Anybody else? I'll take a motion to approve the agenda, including the changes.
Support?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public comment? We'll open that. Does anybody that have any comments they want at this time? All right, close that. The consent agenda. So we moved the minutes out. So we have payables in the general and building, fire, trust agency, the revenue and expense reports for general fire and building funds. Accept treasurer's investment report. Approve the gas installation. This is the natural gas for the new fire station. And then also Janelle's insurance premiums and accident fund.
Can I comment on something?
Sure.
Okay, so in the list of checks paid for the 101, I just wanted to point out, there was a check in there for $58,705. I just wanna confirm. This is the one that was written to Decker for insurance, and that is voided, but it doesn't show voided on this.
Yeah, this report was printed prior to that check being voided, so
Okay.
that is including that, so one of those, I don't know, was that insurance?
Yeah,
That was in
Decker.
there? Yeah, it will still be coming out, it will just look differently because it will be township and fire.
Okay, so when it goes back in, it's still gonna be equal to $58,705, it's just gonna be split between township and fire in the way that you mentioned, that, okay. So, that was probably my only comment.
All right. Does anybody want to make a motion to accept the consent agenda?
I will make a motion that we accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Laura, you want to do a roll call on that, please?
Kevin Scramlin,
Yes.
Janelle Keller,
Yes.
Teresa Bills,
Yes.
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Keith Weiderhold.
Yes.
Presentations, we got Mike Ruffalo, hope I'm saying that correct. Hi. Floor is yours, Mike.
Present from the side here?
Yeah, that
or-
is perfect.
Okay. All right, so today, Janelle asked me to come in and talk to you about your pay channel upgrade. So that's your public education government channel. So you have a channel on Comcast right now. That is channel 22, that they provide the channel, but not the electronics. So you've got a device that's coming up on 5 years old, so it's what we call end of life, parts aren't available. Normally, we set up a 5-year service contract, and about 4.5 years in, we start talking about different features and stuff, and see, you know, what the different government entities are interested in. Obviously, in the last 5 years, you've seen a lot more YouTubes and Rumble, different streaming. So questions come up, and I tried to hit some bullet points, to try and describe what options are available so that you could understand those and then decide what would be appropriate for the township. So it's a video server. Ooh, that's pretty wide open. We do it, I think everybody's familiar with the term Internet Protocol, IP, or MPEG. So we changed the township over from analog to IP in 2015. So that part isn't new, but there's a lot more features, larger disk drives, different options for streaming. You've got a connection that goes to Comcast to provide your channel 22, which has been supported over in the Springfield Township building because they have fiber there and you don't have fiber here. 5 years ago, when we looked at what the cost would be to get fiber over to this building, it was about $40,000. And we've had that server and the previous servers in that building for a long time, so it didn't seem cost effective to make that upgrade. But nowadays, like I said, you got a lot of streaming options. You've got your YouTube, you've got your Roku, you've got Rumble, Vimeo, Multicast. So some government entities are wanting to broadcast on all of these, and some are saying, well, I want to do one. Also, you don't have a camera in here. So you don't stream the meetings live, but that's something, we'll talk about some of the parts and pieces in case you want to make that change. So you'd have the option of streaming the meeting live and recording it at the same time for future. Okay. So we're gonna throw out words like video controller. Well, that's gonna control your cameras, your computer interfaces. If you wanna have 2 screens up, and if you had a camera for the speaker and you want it on that, or somebody had a presentation they were doing off their laptop, off the USB port, and you wanted to do a split screen, that's the kind of things we do with the video controller. I wanted to put some budget numbers out there. So the first one I'm giving you is got all the different features on it, and the second one has features that are less. They're both for a good video server, and the second one you can add features in later, but it helps you know how much money we're talking about and what we get. So with the full in, you get the Comcast streaming. You can continue to do slides. I don't know if you're probably where you have slides up on your channel with them. So you continue to do the slides. It gives you better audio control. You can also do video capture. So if somebody decides to record a local kids sports game or school sports game, you can upload that and play those also, which is, you know, takes more processor power, more memory. Those sorts of features are more expensive. Again, you can stream to multiple channels. When you're streaming to multiple channels, it's easier for your staff if you've got the workflow manager, so we include that. We set it up with a 5-year warranty. Everything we talked about, we try to do on a 5-year warranty basis so that you know, you're not every 1 or 2 years going, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And we do that with all our government school agencies, so that's just, you know, what people seem to like. So the smaller server would not have as much of a processor and memory disk space. And then we took off a lot of the features, so you still do the slides, you'd still be able to stream while you're recording, and we took all those other features out. Now you could add those features in, but it would strain the processor on that when you do that. So it might take staff longer to do things when they were creating slides and stuff. You know, if we were streaming, we could only stream to one IP source, not multiple, because it wouldn't have the processing power to do that. Then in the room here, we put in, and that would be a $30,000 budget. In the room here, if we were to do digital cameras, this room is the size where one camera would cover everything. You don't need to have multiple cameras and stuff. If someone was presenting and the camera was in the corner there, that could turn sideways and still present, and everybody at home would still see it. As soon as you start adding multiple cameras, the price of the video controller goes up exponentially. And you really, for the room this size, you don't need it. A little bit of background, I've been putting in these PEG channels since 1978, so we're not new at it. We have a good idea of what works in different rooms and stuff. You know, so we're not big on overselling someone. And I've seen people put 3 cameras in a room this size, but a $30,000 controller, it's only using 1 camera. So, but these budget prices would include cabling, wiring, configuration, and their budget numbers. So, you know, when we get down to a hard price, it'll be something less than that. The budget isn't, oh, it's $10 and it turns out to be 20. So, you don't have any microphones. If you're going to be streaming and sending things out, you really need microphones. You know, people aren't gonna pick up on what, if we just had a single microphone at the camera, it just wouldn't work well. The picture I'm showing you there is what we put into our commercial customers, boardrooms and such. A lot of times you'll see in the smaller townships and cities, they give gooseneck microphones. They only have an 18-degree cone to get your voice in, so if you turn your head, people can't hear you. With these, we give you 180-degree coverage, so we put 3 of them at the board table. So even if I was talking to someone at that side of the table, and this person asked a question, and I turned my head that way, you would still have your voice picked up on a different microphone. And what we use is a software called IntelliMix. So when the person is speaking and the microphone is picking them up, the other microphones are attenuated to keep paper shuffling and things like that you have to do in order to conduct a meeting off the recording. I put in here speakers, just so you would have a look at the speakers, but with this room, everybody can hear you. You know, you really don't need speakers. But I wanted you to know what the options were. If you have a very nice room, minimal glass, nice walls, the ceiling is good, you have very, very good acoustics in there. So, you know, putting in speakers is something like that. But you know, you can look at it, but you know, it's just not part of it. So, the audio and the mixer. What you can do with the mixer is, like I talked about, it gives you the professional audio quality. You have the IntelliMix, you have digital signal processing so that it cleans it all up before it gets recorded on the hard drive, so when you play back, you really get a professional sound. The audio amp, if you don't do the speakers, you wouldn't do that part of it. You really need to reduce background noise though. One of the meeting issues everybody has is that we have to do papers and different things, and you wanna not send that out.
Fan running.
Exactly. You know, that's where that comes in. We've got a converter to Comcast. So when we output from a video server like you have, we're putting out a broadcast, what we call SDI, serial digital interface. And that's what Comcast is looking for to come in and then be transferred to fiber optic. And then that fiber optic goes back to their main head end building, server room, and gets processed before it comes back out to the community. The one you have is 5 years old, and we always recommend anything that's been running 7x24 for 5 years, eventually will fail. You know, you got your money's worth out of it, it's time to make a change. And again, you know, we put a 5-year warranty on that. What we do is we keep a couple spares at our shop, so if that device goes down, we can trade it out. Trade it out because devices like that don't get repaired overnight. So, you've had a couple outages in the last 10 years. The only one that was a problem was your video server, which it's tough for us to keep something that expensive as a spare. So, you know, that does have to go to the manufacturer. The device you have now, electronics, they end up life it and they're not reselling it. And the new companies that we're looking at are all giving a 3-day turnaround on a video server. So basically, if I run the testing and confirm it with them, they ship you a replacement while I'm shipping the other one back to be repaired, so that we don't have a repeat of what we had, I think, 2 years ago. Or, no, it was like 45 days from now. But it's just, you know, it's hard to keep a $30,000 device sitting on the shelf. We'd have to raise the service up through the roof, and that's not practical. Then, obviously, we gotta make a connection over to Springfield. You've been, recording messages from the past supervisor and, uploading those over 15 to 20 minutes and playing those. If you're gonna start streaming live, we'll need to have, internet connection that's dedicated from here to there. So you have your internet equipment and stuff, but we would put in a router that we would build what we call a virtual private network, a VPN. And so that bandwidth would be set aside during your meetings so that it would have the priority, and in the middle of the meeting, it would just go blank on you. So you'd have a firewall on each side, and then there's some switches and cables and things that go with that. What else we have on here? You're gonna need some uninterrupted power supply, UPS. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but you know, when the lights flicker, the lights come back on. If you've got a server and it flickers, you're rebooting. And you really don't want the power flickering on a $30,000 server. That's just hard on it. So, you know, you're going to need to replace the UPS. Again, it's been up, it's been running 7x24. We replaced the batteries 3 years ago, just as regular maintenance on the service contract, but it's put in its time. If you continue using it, it's likely to fail. So, you know, this is not equipment that you use like, you know, at home and stuff. This is all broadcast quality. These are the same types of equipment we put in for broadcasters and things like that. We work for some of the broadcasters. So this is good quality equipment, but 5 years is still, you know, a long time. You know, whether it's an IT server, a video server, or a UPS, you know, when you go past that, you're getting it into a failure mode. That's why when we offer you a warranty and service, we do it for 5 years, because we think that's a reasonable amount of time that we won't have large expenses. And the last thing was configuring this TV so that it was playing whatever was going out on the channel. So, it's kind of an overview. Does that create questions?
When does our contract actually come up? And when do we need to do something?
Fall.
Okay, so in the next few months we need to.
Yeah, I usually like to give everybody like 6 to 9 months, because
Sure.
every time we talk about this, we haven't talked about it for 5 years.
Right.
And every time things have changed.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're either going from analog to digital, or we're making major changes, so
Sure.
what I thought this would do is kinda give you something to think about, and then if you have questions, you know, we can hit you with 50 pages of cut sheets, but that's not appropriate for this meeting, but, you know, if you've got questions on the servers and specs and things like that, we have all that. I was just trying to,
No, I
kinda do an overview first.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
So,
And there are many people who would appreciate those microphones sitting here.
Yes, I would.
Other questions?
Anybody got any other questions?
Just, is anything that we, like, if we decided to go ahead and do anything here, is that automatically enlisting us in that 5-year contract, or is there a contractual fee outside of these?
This, when we write up a proposal for you, we'll give you what the cost is for the 5-year
Okay.
service fee.
Do you happen to know that off the top of your head? I didn't pull the contract from 5 years ago, I was just curious.
I don't know what you paid 5 years ago. Right now, I think it's running about $60 a month.
Okay.
And generally, since it's coming out of the PEG fund, people have been paying it upfront. Last time you guys just paid it all upfront.
Yeah.
You know, and,
Oh, that's okay, that's great.
yeah,
I was
but
just curious.
that's a good question, but
No worries, no worries.
Yeah.
I can pull it, I just thought, well, if you know off the top of your head.
yeah. Well, I can look up and tell you, you know,
Yeah,
in
you
the
know.
email, say this is what we're
Sure.
currently charging.
That'd be perfect.
Because whatever we were doing 5 years ago, it's more now.
Yeah.
So it was probably $30 then, and it's,
Yeah, let me
you
know.
know, but yeah, it's, there's a fee for, you know, the labor, and then it depends on which equipment you select. Like if you don't do speakers, and we're not wanting the speakers to go down some, if you go with the larger servers and smaller, the equipment side goes up some. But I can tell you what the monthly hourly is. Okay? And included in that is, of course, training, and like with you, and we came and,
Yeah.
made a change. So we'll come in and retrain, you know, something's new, or something, you have a new person, if you want to do it, you know, coming in for a couple hours of training, that's all included in that. We don't nickel and dime you. We're gonna give you a fair price, and if you like that, that'll be good, but, we're not in the habit of, you know, every time you turn around, charging you for 15 minutes of work. It's just not our way. So,
Well, thanks, Mike.
okay, and if you have other questions, you know, just pass them along, and, you know, I can look that up and send that to you for
That
tomorrow.
sounds perfect.
So,
Thank you.
okay,
Thank you,
thank you very much.
Next up is Mr. MacArthur. Tell us all the great things Mr. YA is doing.
Good evening. There's a couple new people, I think, I'm chairman of Brandon Groveland Youth Assistance. And we have a 10-member board, which Teresa is on, and she manages one of our bigger programs with the youth assistance, and does a great job with that. And we have 4 executive board members, just the treasurer, secretary, and chairman. We, BGYA, right now we're spending more money. That's what we're here to talk about. So, but, we are spending more money. We up front, we have more money, which now is allowing us to do bigger and better things. And so the money just really doesn't make any difference as well as you are with your budgets. You know, you get it, it goes, or you're doing it. Right now, just for the half a year, we were able to assist probably right around 200 kids already this year with sports, skill building items. And we have a second program assembly going on at the school. We did one this spring, and we have another one this fall. Those are through a grant. We applied for grants, and they're two $1,500 assemblies for Harvey Swanson School, and it's K through 5th. So those are the kind of things that we're after constantly of trying to provide more activities. Most of it is just support of the family, trying to get the kids so they can get into programs. And on the other side of it, the kids that are having serious trouble, our caseworker has the ability to work with those kids and those families to keep them out of the judicial system. It's where an awful lot of these kids would have went and had misdemeanors on their file, permanent file. And the caseworker now has the opportunity to work with the child, work with the family. The family has to work if they want to keep them into that system. The parent has not much choice; they have to participate, which we all know sometimes is the true challenge of all of it. But that's our caseworker has done, I think, a little over 60 this year already of assisting to these families, and cases that come in, cases that go out. So again, we're busy. We have a lot of different programs going on. There's so many of it. It's a long list of drivers training, different things that we have a couple of kids for the Mackinac trip. We help fund meals for a couple of kids for Cedar Point. And these kids very likely may have been not be able to go, to go to these programs. So it's a great benefit for us to able to support all of that. The sponsor fee, the fee for the school is a in-kind service. We get phones, the building, offices, computer, all of that from the school. Brandon, we get a fee from, and the village of Ortonville and Groveland, which it is our base for our budget. By the time we put those together, that is the base of our budget. And anything donations and grants that we work on to get these other programs is obviously above and beyond that. And it's turned into be a much busier life with all of this than was 14, 15 years ago when I first started. It's definitely turned into a bigger business. With that, on the other thing too, we have our August 12th is our regular meeting, and it's a picnic at Crossman Park in the village. And you're welcome to attend. At that, we definitely get all the school administrations comes to that, so we can do presentations to the stakeholders of the school. We're getting principals, assistant principals, and got an opportunity to be face to face and telling them what we can do, what we can't do, and letting them know that don't let things go by. If something's there that the school won't do, can't do, or a teacher needs support of $100 for her classroom to do something, they can come to us and through a program and be able to help support that. So you'd be able to get an opportunity to see those folks and listen to me again. With that, any questions, I'm glad to answer them, but, and Teresa probably fills you in constantly on what we're up to, so. Okay, thank you.
Thanks for everything you do, Bob.
Yeah, thank you.
What have we contributed in the previous years? What's our?
25. Next, public hearings, we don't have any tonight, we don't have any unfinished business, so we'll move right into new business. And with that, Mr. MacArthur hit it, BGYA, the $2,500. I don't see any reason to drag it out, we all know they do great things. I'll make a motion that we give BGYA their $2,500 sponsorship for 2025.
I'll support that.
Roll call efforts,
Janelle Keller,
Yes?
Teresa Bills,
Yes.
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Keith Weiderhold,
Yes.
Kevin Scramlin.
Yes.
And thank you.
Welcome. Next up is discuss ZBA alternates. Long story short is we have not had any alternates for ZBA. And we've been caught in a pinch.
What about PC? Do we need alternates too?
No, because they have a bigger quorum and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyhow, Barry Clark's with us here tonight. Barry had applied for, the
Trustee position.
The trustee position. And I think he's a great guy. He showed a lot of interest in doing something for the community. I think this would be a great way to, get your feet wet, for lack of better words. So I'm gonna nominate, Barry Clark to be an alternate for the ZBA. Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Welcome. I was looking at you thinking, why do you look so familiar? Yep. Okay.
Thank you, Barry.
Thank you.
Now, but just a quick question, will he be coming to, like, pretty much the meetings? Okay.
Yep. And then if anybody's not here, he'll obviously, or if for some reason he had to recuse himself from a vote.
Okay,
Then
so it's sort of like the tax board deal, the tax appeal board, where you need just two, but we always have three because you don't know if someone's gonna
Yep.
need, okay, perfect.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, moving on up. Next one is discuss the noise ordinance. Caitlin had sent this back. She also sent a cover letter. I hope everybody had a chance to read it. What was anybody's thoughts? Do you know?
Look at that, they just suspect I'll have my thoughts.
Oh, I have thoughts.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Let's start with Teresa.
I'm not sure that I wanna go first.
All right, then we'll let you know. Go first.
How about Jim or Keith?
I mean, I did see a couple of things in there that still raised some questions for me. Little things, like for example, in the purpose, this shall apply to all stationary sound and vibration within this township. Which is that stationary sound.
Like, what does that mean?
I was
Does it
probably
have to
gonna
be,
say, do you know what that means?
like, it's coming from one location, or?
That would be my guess, but I'm not positive.
So I was just curious about that one. B on page 2. It says an there are a couple of things in there that probably just need to be fixed from a writing mechanic standpoint, but it says these vehicles that are not licensed for use upon the roads shall, between 11 and 7, emulate excessive noise off their property,
Okay, not sure.
consistent with the surrounding area, or they shall not be operating.
I assume it's Emily.
I'm not sure what that means either. I thought it was an awkward statement.
Shall not
Be operated between 11 and 7.
between 11 and 7.
Can we just say, no use of them in a loud manner between 11 PM and 7 AM? I mean, isn't that what we're trying to actually get across? gist of that whole thing is that we don't want them making excessive noise between
Right.
11 PM and 7 AM,
Correct.
right? So we agree that's what that statement should read.
Yeah.
However, it needs to be reworked in order to say that.
Correct. I agree. What do you have, Teresa?
Well, I mean, I don't wanna get picky and all this, but here's the thing, if we're gonna be enforcing these, letter C, construction noises, I don't know how that's enforceable. Because basically what I get from this is, we're not permitting any noise from construction between 7 AM and 11 PM, Monday through Friday, or 10 AM to 6 PM Sunday, through Saturday. So like, you're not supposed to be able to hear anybody's construction noise past the real property boundary of the construction activity. Like, you can hear your neighbor mowing their lawn, so how are you not gonna hear construction? I don't understand, and I don't know, how that.
She has that backwards, doesn't she? Isn't it supposed to be from 11
C
to
is-
7 AM?
Yeah, so that, maybe that was her.
Well, she's got a line through C, but she's got the whole thing struck out the way it used to be worded, and then has it reworded. But I don't think that, like, I can't say yes to this
No, I think
ordinance
she
at
has
all.
it
This is, unless, of course, the supervisor gives special permission for them to make noise during the day.
They've got it, I'll give it to them. I think it's supposed to say from 11 PM to 7.
If that is the case, that would make a lot more sense. But, again, I mean, this, to me, that's just,
Yeah. No.
I think that needs to be reworked. There's a couple of, like, just wording things for the way, like, at the bottom of page 2, under letter B, events and occasions. The township board may permit noise requirements different from the provisions of this noise ordinance for specific events or special occasions, and apply for a permit in advance. So that should say what, in applying for a permit in advance of an event or occasion, the applicant shall demonstrate to the township board that compliance with the provisions of this noise ordinance would result in an unreasonable hardship, and there are no reasonable means of limiting the creation of such noise. I just don't think it's clearly stated what, like,
What's she trying to say?
is this ordinance language? And I don't know.
I'm with you though, I think it should be easy for everyone
Well,
to
that's, I mean,
understand.
the reality is, it's the residents who need to be able to look at this and understand what are the rules, so even if it is ordinance language, it needs to be something that people can read.
Absolutely.
So,
Well, then why don't we get a list of our complaints together and then we'll send it back to her.
okay, but here's, this is on the next page, 3. For excluded for township enforcement. Letter C, dog or other animal noises. Did we say we are not enforcing anything about dogs?
Yes, we did.
Well, I don't think that we should be excluding that. I guess I need to be reminded, why did we decide that? Why did we decide that our ordinance officer should not deal with dog or other animal noises? Because that is our biggest complaint. Like, I don't know why when I was reading this, and I'm like,
The
did we really agree to
conversation
that?
when we went to the dogs was they could call animal control.
Is that, so
and have
that's,
Animal control check on it. That was why we took us out of the dog business.
Okay, so I've got a question.
Go ahead, Jim.
Animal control is Oakland County.
Correct.
Does Oakland County respond out here in light of the fact that there seems to be, I don't wanna say animosity, but competition between state police?
The only thing I can tell you is I see their van out here.
Yeah, I
That's
think
all-
animal
that's all I can
control
tell
is
you.
different from
Okay, great.
sheriff, right?
Okay.
I've never actually called
Right,
animal
sure.
control.
Yeah.
You see animal control out here actually some people's houses. What I see animal control doing is releasing raccoons out on state land,
Well, that's probably true.
right? But,
That was illegal.
well, that's just a guess, I retract that from the minutes. I'm just saying.
But that's where we went with the dogs. That was that conversation.
I think we need to I don't know, I'm just not comfortable with that.
Well, go ahead.
I like the idea of having the ability to enforce a nuisance barking dog. Or similar. I honestly, I don't remember the conversation about that, but I'm with Teresa on this one.
Yeah, I think and I don't know if this was something that was talked about in a planning commission meeting at some point,
I can't remember
but
what it was.
we did talk about it last month because pretty much what is listed here are the most common complaints, I would say, that people have. It's gonna be animals, but not just dogs, farm animals, dogs, motor vehicles, primarily like ORVs, four-wheelers, dirt bikes, that kind of thing on property.
How do you enforce the barking dog? That's my next question.
Well, I think truthfully, a lot of these are gonna be difficult to enforce.
Sure. Yep.
Well, I mean,
I can't make you get rid of your dog.
no, they do
Nor would
make,
I.
no, I get it, but, don't they make those collars that if the dog barks, it shocks them, and it's easy to train a dog to quit barking? And, I mean,
But there, I think we're overstepping our bounds. We're not in the business of forcing people to put collars on their dogs. I understand where you're coming from with the dog. To me, it's just almost unenforced. You know what I'm saying?
well,
We can do with this ordinance whatever you want.
Well, I don't think it's ready to be passed.
No, I agree with you.
So maybe it's another,
Let's make our notes.
make your notes, send them to Caitlin, and
so,
after it's not ready.
I don't see any language in here about how we determine what's too loud.
Well, that's at the officer's discretion. Is exactly what it is.
I know we talked about, that's
Yep.
at the property line, is it
Yep.
too loud, if it's not too loud, but
Yeah. Well, everybody make their changes and we'll get them together and send them back to her.
so is it possible, like, I'm just trying to understand the process.
Yep.
Would this ordinance proposal, is it appropriate to send it to the planning commission or the BZA prior to it coming to us again?
I think it has been through the planning commission already, hasn't it?
Yes.
Did you guys see the noise ordinance?
I don't remember the part about the dog, and I've only missed one thing.
I didn't know if it went through the PC because it's supposedly a text amendment, because we already have a noise ordinance, this
Oh.
was just a modification, it's supposed to be originally a modification of some of the language. So it may not have actually gone back to the planning
We
commission.
have certainly discussed it,
Okay.
that I can assure you.
So maybe, I think either way it would be okay to
Send it
say,
back to them?
would you
Yeah.
please review this?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's more appropriate.
I have no problem doing
Make our
that.
notes still, but send it to the planning commission, and we'll bring it up.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll make the notes.
We can do that. Next up is MSP lease. We talked about it last month. We had to make a few revisions in it. And after a lot of emails, we finally got it correct. They have utilities now that the state being responsible for the natural gas and the electricity. That is the only change from the last lease we saw, but that was still in there, and we finally got it straightened out with them. So, Does
So-
anybody have any questions?
Well, I only wanna bring up anything that has been changed since the last time we saw it, because,
That's the only thing that's been changed.
so which items were those? Just,
Go to page, I think it was on page 6, I should have it memorized, I've been through this a few times.
right? 6F,
So that's the one.
metered utility costs for water, sewage, steam, fuel, oil, or coal.
Yeah, which does not apply to us. They took the electricity and the natural gas and put it under, EC obligations.
Okay. So,
But if the line comes through and we're connected, we then will be paying for this, is that accurate?
For what's that?
For metered utility costs for water, sewage?
if, you mean if the sewer line comes through in the
Then-
future?
Yeah,
Then that would be our responsibility to pay for water, sewer, all that.
I will bet you money now, we might all be passed away before there's water and sewage hooked to that building.
I'm just checking, I'm just
giving you-
checking.
I'm just giving you the honest answer. And on top of that, it would be up to us to decide to hook onto it.
True. Well, I mean, if it came through, obviously. But that, okay, so that's hypothetical
Yeah.
20 years
Yeah.
down the road, but, so if that's the only thing, then I will have to say, I mean, you're aware that every 10 years we have to replace the carpet, the repaint, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And the insurance costs, those specific things, those were in the previous
Yeah,
contract.
they've been in there the
Okay.
whole time.
Did you discuss with him that lessee has the sole discretion to determine whether punch list items are minor or not? Like, what's still on the punch list? Because it seems they wanna move in starting August 1st,
Yeah,
so that's
They're-
only a few weeks.
they're good to move in whenever they're ready. That's just the date they put out.
Okay, so this sentence in here is just basically cover themselves,
Exactly.
there's not
In
a whole
in
lot
case you
of,
go there and put holes in the
Just the
wall.
punch, the punch list needs to be generated before they move in. It
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily have to be completed, but it has to be generated and then published.
okay, alright.
So when they come in, if they damage a bunch of stuff, then we're not responsible for that.
So, I guess then my question goes to, like, at the on page 9, at the bottom, letter C, it talks about the lessor, and I'm sure this is all part of the original, but we're getting close to the end time now, and it says, that you agree to hold the lessee harmless for any claims brought against them related to asbestos or the release of any threatened release of any hazardous substance, blah, blah, blah. When we're finished, obviously, there's gonna be an inspection,
Mhm.
and it's gonna be looking for any asbestos or hazardous substances that might already be in existence out there. I mean, I'm not expecting there to be any, but is there, I don't know in the process, are we provided with some sort of evidence that this premises has no,
It's just that asbestos is illegal now, so we couldn't even get it now if we wanted to
Okay.
install it, so there won't be any.
but hazardous substances on or
That
below?
paint is, and then there's no substrates that are existing, everything's brand new.
Okay, so this part here will be addressed at the end of the build,
Yep.
before we actually get
Yep.
the certificate of occupancy and make the final payment to Barry Bass.
You got it.
Okay. The only other thing I had a question on is, whether or not I think they have a typo on page 5 in part 2.6, or 2.4 says that it's a 20-year lease from August 1st of 2025 to September 30th of 2045. Then the next section says they can renew for 10 years.
Yep.
Then section 2.6 says they can renew for 5 years, but they give you dates of August 1st, 2055 to September 30th of 2065. And that is a 10-year period, not 5. So I when I finished reading through the rest, on page 13, it implies that it's a 10-year. So I think this 5 needs to just be changed to 10, just to make the contract 100% accurate.
They can do that on their end.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, that's not a deal breaker or anything, but that is just, something that probably needs to be remedied for clarity.
I just, I'm sorry, were you done, please?
Mm-hmm.
I know you actually kind of mentioned it for a moment, but I guess I just want the board to just draw your attention to page 7, the very last letter there, V. This is for liability insurance, and then it goes on the next page to say what our minimum policy limits need to be. And then also that we have to have a certificate of insurance listing them with several departments, boards, agencies, commissions, officers, and employees as additional insureds within 30 days of this lease. And then every year after that. I guess we should probably just confirm, I can do this, but just that we cover those amounts.
We just
Do
have to put
that?
one as a rider.
Yeah, and then, I guess I just don't know the language, if I can just use that exact language, or do I need to include specific departments, boards, et cetera? Do you have any idea?
No, but I can find out from Tony.
Okay, yeah, that would just be my question, just to make sure that I can get them what they need.
And to be honest with you, when this thing goes back, it's gotta make it all the way to the Attorney General to be signed, so,
It'll take some time.
yeah, it's not gonna be done.
You don't think it'll be August 1st?
For this to be signed,
Right.
who knows? It took me 6 weeks almost to get those couple of utilities out of there. The state of Michigan's really fast.
Danielle, does that insurance go both ways? Do they hold us harmless or additionally insured on theirs? What if they're doing something in their leased space and they get sued by somebody and?
It says that we're responsible, I think.
I don't think you can sue the state, can you?
No,
They
this
could probably
says,
sue it. That's, I think they could probably sue us if they
Yeah.
can't sue the state police.
yeah, that was actually, I was a little concerned about that. It says, liability insurance, so this is page 7 at the bottom, provides full coverage for the lessor, the lessee, and their respective agents and employees, all claims, demands, actions, suits, or causes of action, and judgments, settlements, or recoveries for bodily injury or property damage arising out of condition of the leased premises.
So if they hurt themselves
So
while
it
on the
seems like
premise,
it's right on the premises,
they hurt themselves while on it, not,
right,
the employees do something stupid and get hurt,
right,
because of something that they did wrong themselves.
unless it's on the premises.
I mean, this seems like it would be something that would be covered under the idea that we were negligent about taking care of something.
Right.
Absolutely.
Somebody tripped on a sidewalk.
Right, right.
Slipped on the ice in the parking lot,
There we go.
but we'll keep that salted.
There we go. We'll make John salted. Anybody got anything else? That's it. So I'll make a motion to approve you as a signer on this thing.
I'll make a motion that we approve the lease to be signed. What's the language we need in there?
Specific lease.
This lease as submitted with the 10-year modification. And with Kevin as the signer.
That lease number.
Lease 12198-2021.
You
I'm
got
not really sure if I made that motion or if you did.
it. You just made it.
Give me, I'll second it.
Keith on the second. There you go. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, discuss Tech Park appraisal proposal. And this stems from, we have company that is interested in making an offer on this property. Jim and I had spoke a couple times. I think the only fair way to ever bring a proposal to this board is to actually have an appraisal done on this property so that we know what it's worth. Jim, you wanna comment on this one?
Yeah, so, we have never had the luxury of having an appraisal on our property, and many might think that a parallel in, let's say, a home or commercial building sale would be appropriate, meaning looking at geographic area, what similar properties do we have, what have they commanded, get some metric, perhaps cost per square foot, and adjust it. That isn't gonna happen with this. We have a rather apocalyptic site, and we need to call in some folks that have experience with this, because they're gonna have to draw on, quote, comparables, if any exist, across the US. And so Kevin and I talked with a company called Avison Young, they're a company that I recommend that I've done business with in the past, and they gave us a proposal, which we have before us now. And I'm not sure we're in a position to take bids. It's not enormously expensive, yet it could be as high as $6,250. When I say we're not in a position to take bids, simply because of the timing. The offer that I believe that we have for that property isn't gonna last forever. And I'm happy to, Kevin, if it's appropriate, to make the proposition to the board that we embrace this proposal and lean on them as soon as possible to come up with what the value would be. It should be a little bit more than simply saying, hey, it's worth $10. It should also, I'm expecting to have them embrace the concept, if you do this, it's worth that. If we were to put in the infrastructure, what would we get if we decided to lease it? I think for us to make an informed decision, we need to know that type of information beyond the sale.
Would that be the development analysis, or what if the what ifs, or what if we proved it, if we did the infrastructure, it'd be worth this, is that?
No,
the
Keith,
line is not that.
unfortunately, the call didn't get returned to Kevin and I today. So the brief discussion I had early morning with a non-decision maker that was familiar with this project suggested that development analysis is different than giving us the rates, let's say for lease. That would be more of a feasibility study, the cost of the roads, the cost of the land balancing, and things along those items. You good?
Yep.
Okay.
And Jim's correct. I'm sorry, Chris, I didn't mean to cut you off. Part of the reason we are pushing this a little bit is this company is interested, to say the least. So we're trying to.
Well, that was my question. You have a company that is interested in either purchasing or leasing
Yeah.
on this land.
Yep. They're interested in doing something. So that's why the rush is. And I told Janelle earlier, I don't know if I told you, Jim, if you were on that conversation. I think Justin Danaskis has also offered up, he will get us something from a real estate broker, so we have a comparison.
Great.
So that we have a couple.
Did you ever talk to that development company that eyeballed it? Like that they were specifically looking at this site for development purposes?
Are you talking about
and just-
Detroit
Maybe.
Regional Partners,
Maybe.
the one that did the study for us?
Maybe?
They are not into giving out values. They're
Okay.
not in the real estate end of
Okay.
it. So, yes, I did.
Okay, well, good.
What about the grant money that Damascus came up with, that money that, you know, the 16,000 and then the other couple 100,000? Is that something that we could use for this or not?
No, because the first part of that money all went, they did a study for us, I should have brought it in. We've got like a 40-page folder on that property and everything that's there.
Oh.
So that's what we've been using to market it some. Now, if we get somebody interested, then we can get the other 200,000 to help develop it.
So the 16,000 has been spent on
Mhm.
developing something
For marketing.
for marketing.
Yep. So,
Who's using that to market?
Damascus is,
Okay,
Jim, what's the word I'm looking for? What was the study they did?
The Detroit Regional Partnership,
Yeah.
feasibility study or real estate broker package.
okay.
Yeah.
So they've been paid for that out of the grant money that Damascus got to us,
Yeah.
for
That
us.
I don't know, Kevin, you know.
Yeah, they took care of that.
Damascus took care of that.
Detroit, that company, the one that I was referencing, had already looked at this property before we ever got involved with Damascus at all.
Oh, I
They
don't know.
approached
I
me.
don't know who that is. then.
Yeah, they approached me last year at a conference pertaining specifically to our site.
I don't know who that was. then.
They had like mock-ups and everything for what we could do with that land.
The only one I know of was Detroit Regional Partners. I didn't know anybody else. You don't remember the one?
I could probably look in my conference stuff,
Look
but yeah,
it up on-
I'll look, yeah.
But this analysis would be giving us an idea of, regardless of who came in, this is what we should be.
This should
Charging.
give us some value. Yep.
Yeah, and we don't know what that dollar amount is at this time, so we're gonna have to do
We need
it at
to.
some point.
This
Yeah.
is essential. At some point it needs to be done, in my opinion, not throwing stones at any of us, especially me since I was here. This should have been done 5 years ago. So it's needed.
Well,
Jim-
even 5 years ago, maybe that number would not be
Correct.
quite accurate
Correct.
right now, but, okay. So what are you proposing? Cause there's a couple things highlighted.
I'm proposing the first two values. One is $4,000 from the industrial market analysis, and be prepared to spend another $2,250 for the industrial demographic analysis.
For the cheap seats, would you tell me just real quick, 60-second elevator pitch, what exactly is that again?
Okay, so this will give us an idea of what the property is worth in the event of an outright sale,
Okay,
as well as what the lease rates should come in on a developed site.
okay,
So that means after someone put in the roads, the infrastructure, et cetera, et cetera.
is that the difference between the market analysis and the demographic, industrial demographic analysis? I guess that's what
Teresa, I honestly can't tell you that.
industrial demographic analysis to me means something about, like, who might be interested.
That's what I believe. In other words, again, I'm sorry to say I'm throwing stones at these folks. I was expecting a call back.
Okay.
That's just what, so something happened. However, the way the words read to me would be, what is the likelihood, not right, what is the presumed interest for industry to nest in this site, either through a lease or through an outright purchase?
Okay,
That's what I assume that means.
The second one?
The second one.
So if we already have someone potentially interested, is that really of value to us right now?
Absolutely it is. Someone's interest, respectfully, what's our barometer to see if their interest is valid? The fact that they're interested in it is one thing. But what if this presents additional information for other industries, let's say, or other lease rates?
So you're saying this could potentially tell us, okay, so this particular organization, that's a fair value, but you could get from this industry, something like this? Is that what you're thinking could be a difference?
I'm not sure I understand the question, sorry, Sharon.
That's okay, I'm just, when we already have an organization, that, if this is what that means, it seems like that extra $2,250 may not be necessary.
Are you saying that in light of the fact that we have an organization that's kind of sniffing around the property, do we need to spend this?
Well, yes, because isn't this why we're approving this, because it's a time
So,
constraint?
if that's what you're saying, I'm in 100% agreement.
Then we may not need that
that we may not need the
2250.
2250.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm 100% in agreement with that.
okay.
I also want to change what I just said. I want the board to approve this amount of funds to an entity that we approve. When I say that, I have a little bit of an athlete's temper still left. The fact that this gentleman assured me he would call me today, he didn't. If they vacillate at all and we have to go to a plan B, I don't wanna wait any longer. I want the ability for our board, through whatever is appropriate, to blanketly say, yeah, we're gonna embrace this other company. These guys drop the ball on time.
So if they, yeah, so we don't have to have another board meeting just to approve something different, so.
However, we orchestrate that, I don't know.
Do you wanna make do you wanna make a motion?
Yeah,
Okay, go ahead and make the motion.
so I would like to make the motion to the board that we be prepared to spend up to $62.50 to embrace an organization to provide us a market analysis and value of the property.
Okay. I'll support that.
Laura, you wanna do roll call, please?
Keith Weiderholt,
Yes.
Kevin Scramlin,
Yes.
Janelle Keller,
Yes.
Teresa Bills,
Yes.
Jim Christopher.
Yes.
Discuss our smart credits. You wanna know something? I'm gonna defer to my clerk to explain this to you.
So we receive what are called smart credits every year. They are Suburban Mobility Authority for Regional Transportation. So these are, it's a dollar amount that we receive every year. In the past, for many, many years, we split these between Holly and Brandon because they both had smart buses that they operated. Last year, so if you all recall, there was the transportation tax that we all get to pay.
Yep.
And,
Recall.
yes, I'm sure you recall. So last year, when Holly moved to WODA, West Oakland Transportation Authority, because again, all of the residents are paying taxes already for a transportation option. They moved to WODA and they got rid of their smart buses. Brandon, however, does still have their smart buses operating out of their senior center. So, again, in the past, half went to each, because we don't have buses, we did not have buses here. Last year, we moved to WODA, I guess it's been about a year and a half that we've been with WODA. So last year, we allocated all of our smart credits to the Brandon Senior Center for their smart buses. So now we have to decide, the agreement that you have is what was submitted to, I think, to Kevin, with the expectation that we would submit all of these funds to WODA, since they are the transportation authority for our area now. So we have partnered with them, they do service our area. You guys may have a better idea of who uses it, who doesn't, I don't know if you're familiar at all, maybe, no? So they are, you see their buses every once in a while in the area. So last year, we had decided to transfer all of those credits over to, Brandon and their senior center. So we just have to determine what we would like to do. If we would like to transfer all of them, we can transfer all of them to WODA, all of them to the senior center, or we can split them. The only thing that I do just wanna make sure everyone is aware of, their busing at the senior center does not provide service for all of our residents. It is only for Brandon school residents. And whether this is important or not, there are probably up to about 5 people that do use the senior center buses over in Brandon. Probably 1 or 2 of them that use it regularly.
Did you tell me that the senior center bus, is getting money from NODA?
No, so Brandon Township, from my understanding, Brandon Township is who funds their busing. So the residents of Brandon Township fund those buses. From my understanding. Is that what you want to come to understand too, the senior center in Brandon Township?
Do they have a millage for the senior center and they pay the Oakland Transit millage?
They do pay the transit millage, and I'm seeing yeses. I believe they also, is it a millage, do you know? Or do they, for the senior center?
I'm not sure, no.
There's not a separate millage, it's just the funding comes from the township. So the township does fund senior center buses,
Senior center buses.
and then the residents do also pay a tax that funds NODA, so they are partnered with NODA, excuse me, as well.
Well, they pay Oakland Transit, and Oakland Transit sends it out to whoever they.
Right, sorry, you're
Right.
correct, right.
Yep, you got it.
And that's, and they,
So they,
that area is NODA's territory.
as since, like, so what you're saying, what I hear you saying is, NODA bus goes to the entire Brandon Township. They will come all the way up to the borderline of Brandon and Groveland, and they'll pick anybody up that qualifies who needs a ride.
Yep.
But they won't come into Groveland. And WODA will come all the way over to the Brandon line, and they'll pick up anybody in Brandon that qualifies, but they won't go, I'm sorry, anybody in Groveland that qualifies, but they, WODA, won't go over to initiate a pickup over in Brandon, cause WODA is, they service our entire township, or just the Holly Schools people?
No, WODA services all of Groveland. NODA services all of Brandon. Now, I do know that, and I don't know where they are at in this, I do know that they have been for the last year working on a connect, a system where NODA can transport to WODA, WODA and vice versa, so they can, somehow they are trying to connect those two systems. I don't know where they're at with that. Maybe it's already begun, maybe they're still working on it.
Do you know whether or not these regular users have even attempted to use WODA?
I do not. Well, I know one of them has used WODA, yes. One of the two regular individuals has used WODA.
Successfully?
I think so.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, I don't really have a recommendation. We don't have a busing system here, right? I mean, we have WODA that's much larger than just Little Groveland Township. So I don't know if anyone is really passionate about what we do with these.
How much money are we talking about in smart credits?
I thought that the number was in here. It's a few $1,000s.
I tried to find the number, but.
I know,
didn't
I
stick out.
thought that it was in here.
I don't think it's in.
I would have to double check and look, but it's a few $1,000s.
Like 5,000, 6,000?
I think it was between 5 and 7, if I remember.
Okay. And the Oakland Transit tax is almost 1 mil on 300 million, so that's $300,000 that is going to Oakland Transit to be distributed to NODA and WODA as ever, however they choose.
Correct.
Right?
What do you have?
I don't know though I really have a preference. The only thing I will say is, and Lord knows I love the senior center. I don't know if it's fair to give them all the money when half, or the majority of our township is covered by WODA.
We should probably split it. If we had split it. in the
That would
past,
be my own.
Split it between WODA and the senior
I
center.
mean, if they have 5 people using it and we give them $7,000, that's pretty expensive transportation.
How many people are using WODA?
I don't know. The last I asked, I was informed, and this has been a while, but the last I asked, I was informed that it was very difficult to differentiate because of the mailing addresses. So they can tell you what Holly is, like they can say, oh, all these people are from Holly, but they don't know if it's Holly Township or Groveland Township.
Or Holly Village?
Or Holly Village, right. So, but it has been a little while since I asked that, but that was the last answer that I received.
Keith, did you say something?
I just suggest we split it equally between.
You wanna make the motion?
Good enough for me?
If you
Go for it, you can do this.
We're with you, Keith.
So I make a motion that we split the allocation from SMART 50-50 between WODA and the senior center in Brandon Township.
Support?
Laura, you want a roll call, please?
Teresa Bills,
Yes.
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Keith Wiederhold,
Yes.
Kevin Scramlin,
Yes.
Janelle Keller. Yes.
Next is, discuss the 5th application of dust control spray, because we need to make a decision.
Yes.
I talked to Chris about it for a minute today, so we're good to still do that anyway. Hey, I'll be honest, I've said it all along, I hate this stuff. I will be completely honest with you. Since I've dealt with Chris this year, they have done a much better job at application. I haven't had hardly any complaints about the way it's been applied, so that's been great. Chris's big thing is if we don't do the one in the fall, I'm no gravel road expert, other than I get to drive down them all the time. He says we need to put it on to bind that road better going into fall. So.
Is this about the 5th?
Yeah,
So
they've done 3 right now.
now when you say that, they've done, because there's 2 different classifications of road, right?
Okay.
So like Wildwood and.
Wildwood,
Oak
Oak
Hill
Hill,
and stuff
Groveland, they do those.
They handle those, so the rest of them, so they've done these other primary roads recently where they didn't do some of the others, so I didn't know if they had skipped that as the one that we were skipping, like skipped it this time? because
No,
they still
they're
haven't
doing the
done-
3rd right now. He might even be done.
So
I
that
didn't ask
might
him
be in
what they're
progress.
doing. Yeah, but the roads we're paying for, it's Jasmine, Baldy, Glass, Bird,
Mm.
McGinnis. So,
Windy Knoll.
down from Friday.
Oh. My concern, if we don't do it, I think with some of these torrential rains we've had, some of these dirt roads are, pretty washed out.
They're washed out, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think we need to do everything we possibly can do to try, to preserve them.
Yeah, that's no argument. And hey, we already came back and the money's there. It's whether we decided to do it or not, so. You wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the 5th application of the dust control spray from the road commission.
I'll second.
Do you want to roll call that one?
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Keith Weiderhold,
Yes.
Kevin Scramlin,
Yes.
Janelle Keller,
Yes.
Teresa Bells.
Yes.
Our add-ons, H, assessor contract. Is that it?
No, that was, I had emailed and then, I'm sorry, here, I don't know your
No, you're fine, I read it all. So anyway, obviously, we'd already agreed to hire the new assessor, Bill Thompson. So Will had written up a contract, and actually I gave it to Bill to look at too, in case there was anything that on his end he wanted to change. And amazingly enough, on the first draft, everybody seems good with it. So, except maybe Janelle.
I'm just.
I'm starting to see a pattern. Go ahead.
No, this is so simple, on page 2, the payment, this says that it's gonna be pulled from ACH or EFT. If we could just remove that, because we do have to separate out the, contract pay and employee
Oh,
pay, and we cannot require an employee
Right.
to do anything with, direct deposit, and then for the other one, it will go through accounts payable, which is a check.
Yep.
So, my very minor, that's,
Yeah. I can see that.
You want to make a motion with that in there then?
sure. I would, I motion that we approve the agreement for assessing services as submitted with the removal on page 2, item 2, A, B, and C, which states via ACH/EFT.
Do you want me to sign it?
And with Kevin as signer.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, electrical sign, electrical for the sign at the fire department, the new sign we're gonna put up. I just got this before the meeting, otherwise I'd have had it in my packet for you. Anyway, this worked out great, cause we started out a lot higher in this until we came up with the idea of the electricity's at the road, why can't we run our own service and just have it be metered separately? So long story short is, we went from about $25,000 to $3,410.
It's a lot less.
That's a lot.
It's a lot less. The only thing I will say, if you read it, he does say it's a rough estimate because it's gotta be finalized, which it would be by the end of the week. I would propose that we passed, say $4,500. If it stays at the 3,410, that's fine. If it goes up a few $100, at least we're not back and forward. So I'll make a motion that.
I got a question.
Yep, go ahead.
So this is for the big beautiful sign,
Yep,
and, it's gonna be out towards the road.
Yep.
So you're saying instead of coming all the way from the buildings, it would come from the road?
they're gonna run its own service. They put a
Okay.
meter in it.
And is Township paying for this, or is Fire Department paying for this? This is part of what Township is covering still?
This would still come out of the 400,000.
This is coming out of the 400,000.
110.
Tech Park Development, is that what we have under?
Teresa, you asking about the monthly bill who's gonna pay for it? or the service?
I'm actually both. So the service itself, the installation of it, is covered, will be, under your motion, covered by the township as part of the money we budgeted to complete the station, but the actual bill on a month-to-month basis would be covered by the fire department as operating costs. Is that correct?
I guess that will be a separate issue, to be honest with you, because I think at some point we need to start selling advertisement on that sign as a revenue stream. So I guess
So-
we need to have a meeting at some point on the sign.
I mean, I don't know how much that's gonna cost, and I don't imagine it'll be a whole lot, but I think these are little details, and that, like, even one of the things I have to bring up in the minutes that I wanted to clarify is something along these same lines.
Sure. No, I think we're gonna have to have a meeting about the sign and figure out how we're gonna handle it.
Okay, so for now, it's gonna be covered by the township,
Sure.
okay,
Be the easiest. Yeah.
alright.
So I make a proposal that we, approve $4,500 for the electrical service for the sign at the new fire station,
Up to 4,500?
up to 4,500.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Kevin Scramlin,
Yep.
Janelle Keller.
Yep.
Teresa Bells.
Yes.
Jim Christopher.
Yes.
Keith Leaderhold.
Yes.
Minutes.
Okay, in the minutes, couple things, tell me when you're ready, Laura. Yeah?
You can go.
Okay, so on page 2 of the regular minutes, in the consent agenda, I had to pull out the treasurer's investment report last month because it didn't exist. So you wanna remove letter E, because there was no investment report. And then on page 5, I just wanna correct, the resident's name was Leanne Robinson, not Leslie Robinson. So I know that was just a typo, because I know you know her name is Leanne. And then under the treasurer portion, the very last bullet point, G to G, our credit card system are raising their fees to 3.5%, not 3%. Okay. And then in the fire board minutes, page 2, this one, where we talked about, well, it's halfway down, or about third of the way down, where it says, Scranlin motion to approve security designs for the cloud-based system at the fire station for $25,113 and $720 per year subscription fee out of Fire One building. My question is the township paying for that yearly subscription fee, or was the implication that the township was paying the $113,000 and the fire was paying their annual fee? Because this motion does not make that clear.
I would be under the assumption that they would be paying their yearly subscription.
And that was my thought as
Yeah.
well, and I think we need to clarify that.
Yeah.
That the township is paying for the $25,113 for the security design, cloud-based system at the station, and the fire department budget would cover the $720 per year subscription fee. And then at the very bottom, where, and I think this is just a matter of like, what are we calling this, but Bill's motion to approve Synergy Products to install the emergency lighting on the chief's truck for $13,247.93 to be taken out of Revenue Capital One account. But I don't know, I think you meant to call that something else, and I don't know what is this Revenue Capital One account? Is it? So this is on the second page of the fire board minutes.
That was. We did state it last month, I think was it capital outlay reserve,
Capital outlay reserve.
we had
so-
$23,172, I think that's what we agreed on.
Okay, so I think we just need to change the wording of that to capital outlay reserve, line item or general GL number.
Oh, sorry, hang on. 101-970-980-005.
That was all of my, does anybody have anything else? Okay. I would like to make a motion to approve the minutes of June 9th, 2025 for Township and Fire, with the changes as submitted.
I'll support it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Monthly reports. Janelle, you got anything for Howard?
Sure, so first of all, they are changing their meeting date, so it will be the first Thursday of the month, starting in August, which is actually really nice for us, because that means it will fall before our meetings now.
First Thursday of the month.
Yes.
What time?
3:30. They will continue to meet in the conference room at the Holly Township Library. They will not have a meeting in July. They did help a family with a water heater in June. They also had the Memorial Day Parade, that was a while back. They had Pride Day, June 27th. Then this is vet stuff, but they have the vet, car wash coming up on July 19th, make sure you write that down. And then they are doing the Wednesday car shows in Holly. So again, they don't have a meeting this month, and next month they will have already met, so hopefully I'll have some, news, additional news. So it's not too late.
All right, thank you, Teresa. I didn't read you for everything Bob missed.
For everything Bob missed. Well, Bob did a great job, so I'll just add that, we really would like you to come to the August 12th picnic out there at Crossman Park. That is open to trustees and board members, fire chief, and if you don't know where Crossman Park is, I'm sure I'd be happy to tell you. And then also, Miss Fran was out at the 4-H fair yesterday, I believe. I think she said it was the first Sunday from 1 to 4, doing story hour at the 4-H fair. So I didn't hear how that went, but I'm sure she had a crowd. And Kids Day at the downtown Ortonville Farmers Market is not this coming Saturday, but the next on July 26th. So there will be lots of activities for kids to do. And the Wojo's fundraiser days, where they give 10% of all sales on the first weekend of June, raised just over $125, I believe.
168.
Oh, 168. So better than I thought. I remember now. Okay. And yeah, Bob said pretty much everything else, so check the Facebook page for BGYA and also their website for current updates.
Thank you. Jim, planning commission?
Planning commission did not meet, so I have nothing to report.
Well, you're easy. Keith, ZBA?
The zoning board of appeals did meet on 7/8, we reviewed an application, for a resident who wants to build a garage and was looking for relief on, the side yard setback. We had 4 members in attendance of the 5, and we had a vote. There was a motion to deny the application, and the vote was 2-2, was a tie. So we had to postpone, until a special meeting could be called, or the next monthly meeting. There was a suggestion that we call a meeting for tomorrow that we would discuss today, but I hadn't heard anything else about it, so I don't know if that was.
Didn't we? I talked to Danielle earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, in that case, I think it just failed, didn't
Yeah,
it?
so either way, there has to be 4 people who vote to support it.
You have to have 4 to approve, but,
Correct.
but it was a tie for,
Yeah.
on the denial, it was a tie.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how to handle the tie.
Well, even with another board member though, it wouldn't have had.
For a denial, you can deny it with a simple majority, but approval has to have 4.
Yeah, so I believe Danielle has already contacted that individual and has let them know if they would like to bring it back to another board meeting, they can.
Okay.
But I don't think there was going to be enough discussion.
Okay. That was it.
All right, thanks, Keith. Supervisors report. So we picked up all our tax assessing records from the, county, and Bill started on July 1st. So far, so good. I think Bill's gonna be doing a great job. At a safety meeting for the road commission, I talked to him about this intersection down here at, Grange Hall and Tripp. I'm hoping eventually maybe we can get some type of a caution light there. They're gonna start, don't ask me what aggressive tree trimming is, but they're supposed to be peeling the corner back, to start with, so everybody can see better. No-Haz is July 19th. I still need a volunteer. Any volunteers?
I'm actually gonna work this Saturday around.
Well, I'm gonna be looking for one. We did get new signs put up that we'd already voted for. She has a picture of them right there. There's one at the tech park, and then there's the one that was replaced at Oak Hill and Dixie.
Oh,
Yeah.
when did those go up?
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday.
They look great too. Wednesday morning at 11, I have a Zoom court date along with Will and Tim Judici, our engineer for Drake and KOA. Long story short, we're saying they have defaulted on the consent judgment, and we're asking the judge for relief. Hopefully try to get some of our money back, but that's Wednesday the 11th. So we will find out what happens.
This Wednesday?
Yep, this Wednesday the 11th.
Like some of our legal expenses?
We're
Great.
saying by them defaulting. Cool, so we're gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, yeah.
I did have a couple complaints this month, I shouldn't say a couple, I've had a lot, but a couple I did wanna bring up. Wolf Road, there's been gravel trucks on there. All the
It is
neighbors,
terrible.
all the neighbors are upset. Long story short, Brandon Township, the first parcel there is an industrial piece, and they're hauling dirt in there to land balance it. So they're not through trucks. I had MSP and they did send a motor carrier out there. They're not going through, they're going there to dump a legitimate deal, so there's really nothing we can do to stop them.
We can't go all the way around, huh?
Can't force them to, it's a public road. Yeah.
That's right.
So, that's that, let's hope it ends soon. I had another lady complain on Tyndall Road, I should say another one, I had a lady complain on Tyndall Road about trucks using their Jake brakes in the morning. I explained to her that it's not against the law, anywhere they put up signs, they get thrown out of court. She was not happy with me, I think she wanted us to put up signs. I explained to her that I didn't think this township would spend money to put up signs that were unenforceable. So, that's where that got left at. The other major complaint is DTE. I don't think I have to tell anybody here, it is constant all the time. I hope to have a date within the next couple days. With Damascus's, they have helped. We're gonna have a public hearing with DTE. And they're gonna send in a team of 4 to answer the residents' questions and see if we can come up with some help. So I hope everyone that is having problems shows up and voice your opinion. It's, I don't know, I've talked to Jim about it endlessly. I think we bounced around. It's easiest just to get DTE in here and let them talk directly to them. Obviously, when I have a date, I will let everyone know, all the board and everybody. I hope all of you can attend.
Damascus is helping you set this up?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So that hearing is,
Oh, David Martin's gonna be there too, and I think Mike Manure, the state rep from Holly's coming too.
so is that hearing exclusively for Groveland residents, or would that be?
You know, we're not gonna close it to just Groveland residents. I mean, if somebody comes from Brandon or Holly, this is your chance.
Probably get some from Brandon, I mean, they're in a similar boat with it.
Where do you plan to hold
Well,
this
we're talking
meeting?
about that.
Because I think if you really let people know, you're gonna get a big turnout.
Yeah, we could. I don't know,
If you
me and
do
John were
firewall.
talking about it this morning. Yeah, we're gonna be going to fire, it's not gonna happen here. So,
Like you might need an auditorium.
we say that and 5 people show up.
Oh, no, I think you'd get,
I think if you put the word out, because that's a hot topic every
Yeah.
day.
It is a hot topic,
People are gonna
and,
show up.
I hope it gives people some answers. I really do. I think it's the best thing we can do for everybody.
Well,
I think it'd be great.
it affects us here too. You
Oh,
know,
for
we had
sure.
that lightning strike and, we've always been able to run on that generator, but now that the generator's not operational, and we've had a couple of times when the power has gone out again here, and we don't have a backup either.
So it ought to be interesting anyway.
Wow, that's awesome.
And otherwise, obviously, we talked about the tech park. We've been working on that, and then we have been working in contact with Vesper some. And is there anything I forgot? No, I think that's it. Should know.
Nothing too exciting, just, still finishing up the insurance claim. We did have a couple of other things that went out. We lost another camera, sprinkler head, that TV monitor in there that always had the, cameras up. So that was also fried. So we're kind of slowly, I think, getting to the end of it, all of the items that were killed. We still have a couple of printers to be replaced. So hopefully that'll all be finished up in the next couple of weeks. CBiz did complete their audit. So our auditors will be attending our next board meeting in August. They were hoping to try to get here to tonight's meeting, but they, were waiting on a couple of things. So they have it all now though, so they will be at our next board meeting. Laura just submitted an election grant for us today, so we're working on trying to get some, handicap accessible doors for downstairs. So right now, that is what we do for all of our early voting, and certainly precinct 1 has always voted downstairs, but we don't have any automatic doors. So we just submitted a grant, Laura just submitted that today, so we're hoping to get 2 downstairs, that are ADA compliant, so that's pretty exciting for us. The ladies in the office have also been playing with the sign outside, so you might be seeing some exciting, new,
Design.
flashy designs. They've been doing a great job, so appreciate it. It's really appreciated. Also, we have finally, as Mike was here, he's been really working very, very nicely with me to try to get the cable channel operational again. So, that has been in the works. Camera system is all good to go, so we have all of those connected. And then I have been working on ordinances. That's actually gonna be a big focus of mine over the next few weeks. So there actually are a lot of ordinances that have been passed that have not made it quite to Municode. And then actually Stacy and I have even talked, there are some things that the board has approved, but didn't come to completion. So for example, their cost recovery that is currently on our website is not accurate. Part of that is because we actually need to bring an amendment proposal in ordinance form to the board to do. So there are a lot of different ordinances that I'm hoping we can kind of bundle and bring in, hopefully in the next month or two. But there is a lot of work that goes into all of those. So for example, we still don't have our, marijuana ordinance is not online. Our food truck ordinance is not online. So a bunch of those that I'm trying to kind of just bring together. And then the last one, Justin did send me pictures of the township car. I have not posted that anywhere just yet, but just to confirm, we wanted that to be just highest and best. And then I wasn't sure if, because I know you had talked about you guys posting it somewhere too. Do we have like a deadline or anything?
You guys can figure it out.
Okay, so
whatever
you and I
works
can
for you.
just chat about it and figure it out.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Which car is that one?
The ordinance car, the black and white one.
And the old Chiefs car, the red one.
Good.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. Teresa?
Oh, okay, so I've renewed a few CDs, the rates are still over 4%. They're not 5 anymore, but they are still over 4. Just tax collecting right now for payments, payable July 1st through September 15th this year, since the 14th is on a Sunday. The Board of Review for July is next Tuesday, the 22nd. That is for clerical errors, recappings, poverty exemptions, things like that. We do have 3 members of the Board of Review who will be present for that. That will be next Tuesday, the 22nd at 11 a.m. The unclaimed property tax, or the unclaimed property department that Kevin and I have been going back and forth, we finally got them everything that they needed, and so they sent the check. Township total was $2,345. Fire total, like a windfall, $961. So those were added, and it says unclaimed property on the line item there. So that was kind of cool. Then, just so you know, the cybersecurity grant that I applied for on December 30th of 2024 was finally accepted and approved about maybe 3 weeks ago. So it was right after our last board meeting. So they kept pushing it back another month, another month, another month. But it's a state and local cybersecurity grant program, and although we have been approved, it has been moved to the next level now, which is at FEMA for approval from them, and when they have finished approving what they're gonna approve, then they're gonna send it back to us. So I am not sure exactly what we're gonna end up and when we're gonna get it, but hopefully they're gonna allow us to spend it on, you know, some of the things that we've had to actually spend money on with our new enhanced cybersecurity that, you know, we had to replace some things and so on. So anyway, when I find out more about like what exactly they're giving us and when they're gonna give it to us, I will let you all know. But at least we were not denied, because there were some municipalities that were actually denied. So
Yeah, we made it this far.
we did. Oh, and I did wanna say, I don't see, I'm sorry, this is off the topic, but Sean Dobbs got the Bronze Pig Award. Yes, and I got his picture. I thought that was quite impressive. Sean, he ate those ribs for that fundraiser.
I didn't even see that.
That was in the Citizen. So, you guys, I'm so proud. That was it for me.
Did you do it, John? Or did you just send Sean?
Just Sean, we watch.
Alright, thank you.
Well, he did have to split it with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was close.
So,
Alright, perfect. Public comment? Do we have any comments?
Yes, I do. I
Yes,
have a
ma'am.
question. You said you are in contact with Vesper.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Come and see me after the meeting. Thank you. I'll be glad to talk to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? All right, I'll take the motion to adjourn and reopen with the fire board.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye. Oh, I'm sorry.
Just a quick question. You said you will, I don't know exactly what DTE has to do with Holly.
I'm sorry, DTE has to do with what?
With Holly.
Oh, they provide service there too.
Okay, when you said you will announce, in what fashion?
It'll be on Facebook, it'll be on the sign, I'm gonna get that man right there to put it in the paper. And we'll put it on our website too.
This says that she's in Holly, she will.
She's in Holly,
I can
so.
get it to the TCT.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you get it to Tri-County for me?
I can do that.
Perfect,
Do you get the Tri-County Times?
I can get it.
okay,
Okay.
I'll have it.
Thank you.
thank you.
You can always call here, like, you know, a couple weeks from now also, and just say, hey, do you have a date?
Sure. Who made the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? John, it's yours.
All right, thank you for hearing us tonight. Sorry I was absent last month with an emergency. We'll start off with the apparatus and equipment. Mr. Morrow will present.
Yeah, so I finished removing all the branding decals off of the car two, so both the old Chiefs car and the car two are completely removed of any department or township wording or anything like that. So there's no identifying stickers left on those for the sale of them. I removed the emergency lights and siren off of the old Chiefs car to transfer those over to our side-by-side, since that doesn't currently have a whole lot of lighting or a siren on it. It was a fairly nice system, and since we probably won't get a whole lot for those cars, that'll save us a lot of money in transferring those systems over to the side-by-side. Tanker one has been repaired and is back in service and has passed the DOT inspection, so it's back in station one. Regarding the Chief's truck, Synergy reported they overlooked the emergency light order in an email, so I'm assuming we'll
Yeah,
be getting
come on
it.
later.
Of course they did.
Oh, sorry, we forgot.
Shell. We had our annual ground ladder testing, July 7th, all our ladders passed, no issues there. And Alpha 43 received a tie rotation and alignment. That's all I have for equipment.
Can I go back to letter E?
Yes.
What exactly does that mean? They overlook the emergency light, does that mean they have to
See-
charge you more for it?
No,
Or they
he
need
didn't
you to bring it
order-
back in and
He
do it?
didn't order the equipment.
Oh, so it's part of what you paid for, what got paid for,
They just didn't.
they just didn't do it. So you have to take the truck back and have them do it?
They haven't done
They-
that.
Well, they haven't done anything yet, because
Oh.
they didn't order the equipment.
Oh, okay. So it's,
So it should be hopefully here soon.
gotcha, okay, alright. Okay,
Okay, moving on to personnel. Justin Morose has completed his ICS 300 class, and that's just a continuation in the incident command system classes. It kind of builds on the structure of it for adaptability in different incidents and more along, there's forms that we use for resource allocation and just tracking, and he just completed that.
Also helps with FEMA grants.
Yes, the more we have
mm,
that have this, definitely helps getting us grants along that. And then he has, shortly next month, he'll be taking his ICS 400 class, which is just even more in depth, so.
excellent,
Congratulate him for his
yes. Good work.
dry time that he had to sit through for a week. Painful.
Took one for the team there, thank you.
Yes, he did. Sean Dobbs passed his paramedic instructor coordinator exam.
Wow,
Congrats to him, because that's a pretty big undertaking.
Yeah, good for sure.
Now we have, I think, 6 on the roster that have their IC, which is pretty rare, because it's quite an extensive class to take.
Who are those individuals?
Stacy Burdess, Dodge, Kyle Bruder, Tammy Pace. Yeah, Derek Steinberg. That's what it's called. I have received several inquiries about the contractual agreement we did for the classes. I'm still working on talking to them. Right now, there's a lapse in classes that are being put on, so nothing will be starting for several months, so more to come on that one. Trevor Dean resigned, because he got a position in Livonia, full-time. He was only ever a temporary person anyway, so, unfortunately, he'll still be missed, because, you know, he came from here originally. He's a pretty good guy. Andre Willis also resigned. He was, also a full-time Springfield Township firefighter. He moved back to Alabama with his family, so we'll miss him as well. Torrin McKay, he began working shifts. He's a firefighter medic, so that's good. And in addition, I have a request to hire Garrett Thiem. He's a Grand Blanc resident right on the border. Real clean cut, nice guy.
Is that the young guy you told me
He's
about?
yep, he's on the National Guard, and he had just gotten his EMT registry.
Yeah, it looks
He'd be
like
a great addition. They can see us for the future here.
Good.
Do we make a motion on it?
Yeah.
we should do that.
We should do that. I will make a motion to hire, I think I heard you say Garrett Thiem.
Yeah.
THEM.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Is that it?
I don't know exactly how to pronounce it.
Okay, Garrett Thiem, as a firefighter EMT
film.
fill-in.
I'll second.
Laura, do you want to roll call that, please?
Yep, Janelle Keller,
Yes.
Teresa Mills,
Yes.
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Keith Weiderhold,
Yes.
Kevin Scramlin.
Yes.
So John, with Torrin starting and then a new guy, that would put you back to your staffing level you wanna be at, or just?
No.
No.
No, hurting pretty bad right now, so. Working on it. We have flyers out everywhere. We're posting it on Facebook. We posted it in the hospitals around the neighboring EMS departments. Just trying to spread word of mouth as much as we can, so. It's paying off slowly, but it's always like a revolving door anyways, historically. You know, as soon as somebody gets a better offer, they go there. We're in hopes. It does, we have applied, this is in the later section, for the SAFER grant for 2 additional full-time people. So that would help secure some shifts being filled in that aspect. And hopefully by then, we would be able to increase our revenues to be able to retain them.
Because if you got the grant, that's gonna pay for like 1 year or one set
3
amount.
years?
3 years.
3 years,
It's
okay.
kind of a step down percentage of what they pay and what we pay.
When did those come out, John?
Good question, kind of when they want to, generally.
That's
It's-
normally how it works.
It's what, 8 to 12 months before it goes in rounds.
It does, whatever date they have that they say they'll announce, you can expect about 6 to 8 months later, typically, through the federal government.
That figures.
It's unreliable to say,
Yeah,
in 6 months, they're gonna release the results of the first round.
sure.
Which is,
All right.
keep our fingers crossed,
Yes,
this
sir.
would be a great thing.
Absolutely.
Moving on to community risk reduction. Alex is to go to, the one on the corner of Dixie and Grange Hall has purchased the commercial Knox box to hold their keys to the door. I'd like to congratulate Sergeant Millar on that, because most of these businesses have been here for 20+ years, and none of the previous inspectors have done anything to promote it. And now I think pretty much all businesses have the Knox box, just a couple short. So,
That's great.
in that, that helps our ISO rating as well. We have access without doing further damage, so there's a lot of baby steps we're taking towards it.
Yeah, so let me just ask a quick question. When you do your annual inspections, you like open that knockbox, take those keys out and try them and?
Yeah, that's how I know yours didn't work. At least once a year.
Okay, because, you know, I knew that and I thought, well, yeah, that makes sense. So you would try all the different businesses and stuff, because some businesses change hands, right? Like over in the Binky's Plaza, I don't know if there's knock boxes on all of those.
They have a Knox box on the back of every one of them now.
Okay,
All 14, 15, 16 of them.
That's great.
wonderful. Okay,
We've made several fireworks, safety, heat-related, weather and water safety posts on Facebook, and just try and promote that as much as we can. Historically, there hasn't been very much outreach, and just trying to get that further ahead, and also we'll be doing that once we get our department website up too, so. And that as well counts towards our ISO rating. Smoke alarms were installed in one residence, and on top of that, we also did one residential lockbox as well, we had taken off last month. Then the 75 construction update. As you can all see, the radar speed trailers been placed on Dixie Highway, and they do appear to be reducing the speeds, not by much. I mean, there's always some that just want to test it and see how fast they can go, but generally, all in all, it has seemed to slightly reduce the speeds. And they are still scheduled to install the four-way stop signs at the Grange Hall and 75 ramps, probably once they get the construction finished up, about ready when they start doing the turnarounds there, or roundabouts. And then later this month on the 29th, we have a meeting for the roundabouts, Grange Hall and 75. So if anybody has any concerns, please let Supervisor Scramble and myself know. Or I can give you the link to the meeting, and you're more than welcome to attend.
where's that meeting gonna be?
Down Pontiac.
Yeah.
Down at Pontiac?
Yeah, physically in Pontiac at the MDOT building, or there is a Zoom link as well.
So
Or
that's,
a Teams meeting.
you guys are going to that?
Yes.
Okay.
They're really exciting, you wouldn't wanna miss those.
Oh, yeah.
We'll let you go represent. Thank you.
ISO update. We've gotten access to this system called Mitigate, and that gives us the results of our last inspection. In each category, it's not broken down specifically, it's kind of vague in each category. So we're working on building off of that. And we did speak with the field reviewer that was out here that did our audit for ISO about selling one of the engines. And unfortunately, we're barely into a 3. So if we sold it, it would drop us a point, and that would raise us to a 4. So we're looking at doing some alternative things right now to get that point back and get rid of it. EMS. Kyle Bruder has begun holding his PALS classes, and he did a Paris class, that's pediatric advanced life support and pediatric basic life support. He's doing very well at it. We've had good turnouts. Report cards are attached. Generally, very good results from those. We participated in the first EMS CQI committee down at Oakland County Med Control. It takes a blinded information off the state reporting site that all of our EMS runs go to. And they blind it, and then they put it out to the committee. and we review it for its accuracy, thoroughness, the documentation, if it follows the protocol. And it helps us learn trends, so we can address it and educate the departments around, so that was pretty useful. We got a lot of good takeaways from it.
Who participated in that? You specifically, like how many fires?
Sergeant Burdess and I did, it was pretty much open to everybody.
Mhm.
But it was pretty limited. Indy had 2 people there. Springfield had, well, Burdess went under us and Springfield. Indy, Brandon had 2 people, and there was a couple from West Bloomfield and Southfield, so, in Oxford.
Is this something that they do on a regular basis? Like, could you rotate some new people? Like, could you send?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, that's the whole intent of it,
Yeah.
is to get more people thinking along the lines of how to properly document
Yeah.
and follow the protocols. So it's not intended for one person to do it every time. There's proctors in each group. We broke down into groups and proctored
Mhm.
the group, like, to make sure they followed, well, we had created a rubric for grading the run, so. And we rotated the proctors through the groups to see how each of them approached the different information they were looking for in it. So, the intent is to rotate as many people through it as possible, you know, whoever's interested in it, so.
I think that's fabulous.
It's, we've been working on it for a really long time down there, so it was really cool to see it
Yeah.
come together.
It makes me think, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. I think that's really cool. I mean, that's a great opportunity. I would encourage you to send as many different people as possible to something like that.
It puts a lot of different eyes and perspective on things, so it gives us, because the only way we can change the protocols down there is if we see something consistently wrong, and then generally we create an education initiative on it and try and put it out and see if we can curb it, and then what's wrong with the protocol as to why people aren't following it. You know, is it unreasonable? Does it not work? Is it misinterpreted? So it's definitely making the whole system a lot better with all the different approaches we're
Absolutely.
taking for it. And we are still in the process of reviewing the new T-kits. We're, I think, on our 4th revision now. You know, it's kind of hard to get everybody to agree on something, especially when it's changed and we've been doing it for, what, 27 years out of the same T-kits, so. More to come on that. Operations. I ordered animal catch poles and bite gloves. And this is a result. So we've had mild incidents before, but we had an incident on a call where the dogs were barking at the door and the woman was unresponsive on the ground.
Oh.
And they couldn't make entry. So she contacted me and she was worried that we either wouldn't go or we'd go there and shoot her dogs. Just like, no, that's not gonna happen. So, in order to kind of work with that, I don't know why we never have in the past, because it's just something you don't hear of. But the catch poles, you know, with the cable on the end, you stick on their back and you go around with them. So we contacted Oakland County Animal Control, and they'll come out and train us on them, so we know how to properly use them. It's not intended to put ourselves in danger, it's to get ourselves out and give us access to that patient.
Sure.
And actually, it's kind of funny, because I was reading one of the emails from an ambulance email information that has different classes on it and stuff, that in Texas, there was a mauling today. The guy died, 2 pit bulls attacked him, and they just sat there and watched. Because they couldn't do anything until PD had gotten there, and they shot one of the dogs, and animal control had got there after that and tranquilized the other one. But, you know, there's nothing you can do because you can't put yourself in danger to help somebody.
You never
It's
know.
good training and tools to have, so if
So-
they get a
And it's
nuisance
really
dog,
cheap, it was
call.
$100 for the pole, so it's really cheap security and
Yeah.
give us other options.
John, that's the first time that condition has happened, where you've got a dog where your folks feel threatened?
Most of the time, we can divert them, but there's 2 German Shepherds
Yeah,
jumping on
yeah.
the front door, so it
I
was
never
just
once-
kinda, we brought it to lighting and I said, yeah, why don't we do something
Yeah,
about that?
I think it's totally appropriate, I just never intellectualized it, that happens. Duh.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you never really think about until it comes
Yeah.
up, so.
Yeah, got it.
I mean, and then after talking to everybody, you know, Roscoe's been bit before, and Burdess has been bit on another call before, but so, just give us the opportunity to control it a little better.
You can't pepper spray them, can you?
No, we can get a trank gun though. I know some departments do carry them.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I gotta have something.
I think Indy
Yeah.
does, cause they carry everything.
yeah.
Yes, we
But-
have, that was pretty simple.
Yeah, okay. Where are we? We just concluded the first round of our annual driver's training, the rodeo. That was it. First one we did was at Holly High School, because we're kind of limited on parking lot space. Just because the weather and everything, we did have the opportunity to talk to Mount Holly again and convince them to let us use it, and they agreed to it, so we're putting on another week of it the beginning of August. So hopefully we can finish getting everybody else through there. Justin Moroz is finished with his engineer program, and he is now training everybody on it, and everybody has great things to say, and you can really see it in everybody's abilities. So, thank you, Justin. Stacy, Sergeant Millard has submitted a letter of inquiry to the Dennis Leary Foundation for the purchase of a drone training and the licensing of it, so thank you, Stacy. And she also submitted a request to the firehouse subs for a thermal imaging camera to replace the outdated ones on the trucks. As we spoke earlier, she also submitted an application for the SAFER grant for 2 full-time personnel. And then next is alarms. This year, to date, we ran 533 calls versus last year we ran 532 calls. And for the month only, we ran 79 calls this year and 104 calls last year. I don't know, you see, the last several months it's been almost exactly the same in total number of calls. It breaks down a little bit differently, but it seems to march out exactly the same so far this year. We did have one incident of interest. We had a residential structure fire on June 19th. It was dispatched as the deck behind the residence was on fire. First arriving unit was Justin, and he found the deck and fire had spread up the back of the house and made access into the attic. So they did an excellent hit on it and extinguished it. Just had to pull some ceiling down and extinguish what was in the attic. We were assisted on that with Nakva, Springfield, Brandon, Fenton, and Atlas. So many because nobody had anybody. everybody's hurting for manpower right now, so everybody has limited resources they can send us, so you just have to reach further out.
We were able to save all the pets out of that house as well.
Were there people home at the time?
Yes, they got out first, they brought one of the dogs out with them, and then, as we were doing our, extinguishing efforts, we got the, other dog and numerous cats out of the home.
Okay.
Township attractions, the county and state parks are open. Everything's been going quite well. We did have one incident last week where we got a report of 2 youths in a canoe that were missing. Luckily, as soon as we pulled up, the park ranger came running out and said we found them, so, you know, that was quite a relief.
Yeah.
Oakland County 4-H Fair is up and running from the 11th to the 20th, and we are doing 1 day at the EMS tent there.
What day are you doing? What day is it?
I'll have to look at this one, I don't remember it right. Saturday, the 19th.
Oh, what time is that?
For community outreach, Heather Key had designed a 4th of July shirt for sale for our duty shirts. They're really cool with the flag in the background with soldiers on it and GTFD on the back, fire department. And it was we're using it to raise money for our association for the Thanksgiving meals that we do. She did, it was great. It was actually $518 in the 3 days we had it up for sale, because it was a pretty last minute thing. Again, like Teresa said, Dobbs participated in the Vicky's rib eating contest. It was pretty intense, so it was a good time. You know, everybody's out there cheering and yelling.
Yeah, I thought that was
Yeah.
so cool.
Barbecue sauce all over their face. He was a proud guy.
Well, I'll give you his picture, you can post it at the station.
Okay.
Yeah. We can laminate it for you. We'll laminate it for you first.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'll get you the digital if you want.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, we need that. And then we're scheduled to participate in Brandon's Touch-A-Truck on August 13th at the Hadley Road Park.
Oh,
Okay.
is that the first time they've had that, Joe?
I think it is the first time they have had that. It was John at the Parks Department
Yeah, John.
called me. Yeah, I think it's the first time that he's putting it on. Usually we do it at Dickey's. It is a retired county dep that usually puts it on for the youth assistance programs over there, but he hasn't contacted yet for that. And as far as the new station, progress is steady and it's looking really good. Everything should be pretty darn close to being done. The end walls, have they called yet on the inspection?
I think so.
I
We
talked-
could have happened today.
Yeah, I talked to Mike, he said they were gonna be ready this week, but I'll have to ask Danielle, I don't know what the problem is.
It's really close. It does look pretty good now. The security system, the gear storage lockers and the extraction system have been ordered. I haven't gotten any reply on when they'll be in yet. We have gotten the stove and the range hood. Still waiting to order the power washer. I finally got the tax exemption through on that, but then there's an issue with the payment for it, so. It's a really difficult company to work with because there's no phone number for them, you can only talk to the online chat with them, but it's $700 cheaper than anywhere else I can get it, so.
So you put it up
It's
with
worth kind of going through a little bit of hassle. And then I'd like to request, purchase 3 flagpoles and the lighting and installation kits from Flagpoles, etc. I've attached the quote from them in here. I have contacted 3 additional companies And I've only gotten a reply back from one that stated they were out of the area.
So this is the
They
only one
probably
that
should have
actually,
put the
this is
price
the
on
only
there.
one that gave you it?
Yeah. Which is all right, we've dealt with them. We have a history with them, they were in Holly previously, so both our other flagpoles were from them, and we purchase our flags now,
Mhm.
so we have existing business with
No.
them.
So there's 3 flagpoles, but I see only 2 flags. What's gonna go on the third pole?
Custom
My-
flag.
Custom flag?
Yep.
Like specific for the fire department?
Yes.
Or, okay, it's not gonna like rotate on a monthly basis, right? Like, okay, just.
There'll be no special interest flags.
Thank you. All right, perfect.
And, the quote they gave me for that was $9,031.04.
So I see that includes tax. $431.45 tax. Like you just need to give them some paperwork to get that removed, right?
They should already have our account there,
Yeah.
yes.
So really, it's more like 8,600.
Yes. 85, 99, 59.
Well, if you tried to get 3 quotes and this was all that could happen, I suppose, yeah.
I'll make a motion that, we purchase three flagpoles from Flagpoles, et cetera, for the $8,599.59. Yeah.
Is it out of the 400,000?
Yeah, you put it down there, for the fire department, what is it? Capital, it's not capital reserve.
Do we call that Fire One Building Fund,
I
or
think so,
what is it? Yeah,
yeah, for the one building fund. Support?
I'll second.
Second. I'll do a roll call now.
Jim Christopher,
Yes.
Keith Weatherholt,
Yes.
Kevin Scramlin,
Yes.
Janelle Keller,
Yes.
Teresa Bells.
yes.
Yeah, the flagpoles also work into the paver project.
Sure.
Say that again?
The flagpoles also work into the paver project that he just was heading up for.
Is this a fundraiser thing?
Yeah.
Where people can buy
Yeah.
pavers?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's very beginning stages of figuring out at the moment, but yes.
We're currently trying to figure out a couple cool designs for it, so.
If you have that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I suspect that we will have election in November. I have been told by all of the superintendents that all 3 schools will. If you have that information, I don't know if you're trying to get it done before November, or if it's gonna be a rolling thing, but you probably get a lot of people coming in, so it'd be good to have the information out. Unless you were hoping to have it done before then.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do, how quickly we can move it along.
Yeah.
Take all the money you can get, we don't have to put a hard deadline on it.
Yeah, that's kind of
No,
what I
I'm
think
serious.
too, yeah.
Even if we rounded up money and did it in the spring, I'm serious, let's sell all of it we can sell.
And is it something that you can, somebody wants to sponsor one later, you can pull out a blank one? and put it
Yes.
on?
Yeah, that is the goal, is to have the walkway with some initial ones and be able to expand later with it.
I'm working on somebody to donate us a gazebo.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Then we can get with you coming up this week and chat with you about that.
I would also suggest that you, have some various size pavers.
Yes, that's in the works as well,
Okay.
some very large ones for
Yep.
businesses and then some small ones for households.
I think we're gonna sell a few benches.
Okay, well, I think that it's interesting, the hospital has that walkway behind it, and there's various size things, and you know, you never know who wants to buy a big one or a small one, you know, so.
Think
Yeah,
it'll be
there'll
a
be
good
numerous
thing.
different fundraising options.
Perfect.
And that was all I had.
That's all you got? Jim, I know you wanna make a motion to adjourn.
Well, public comment?
Oh, public comment, I'm sorry. No public comment? I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to, we motion, we adjourn for the evening.
Janelle, I know you wanna support it.
I fully support that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.